big skyscraper in a city somewhere. You know, if someone had a bad day, you know, just without even realizing it, because shapes, colors do affect brain chemistry, and whether you're cognitive of it or not, or cognizant of it or not, it's really, that's what's going on. And so even if just in a passive way, if I can help someone's day be better, you know, just because they walked by one of my sculptures or underneath one of them, and just those shapes and those colors just do something to smooth something out inside somebody's mind, right? To just kind of make their day better. I don't know whether they're grieving, whether there's something bad at work or family or whatever the case, you know. So that's really, that's the goal of my work. And my music and the songs are the same thing, you know. It's really the same energy. It's a different skill set. You know, I could talk about writing and music and art, but they're really all different skill sets. And what I try to emphasize to people is, you know, if you want to get good at something, you really just have to be doing it. You can't just be talking about it. If you want to be a good guitar player, you know, be a good blues guitarist, you know, then you really just got to keep playing. You just got to keep playing. You can't just keep talking about it or reading about it or becoming like this knowledge master of like the history of blues guitar. It's like, that's great if you know all that stuff, but it's even better if you sound good. You know, if you're gonna play guitar, be good. You know, don't be half measured. You know, be full power. You know. And it's the same thing with writing. If you want to be a good lyricist, being a good guitar player may help with song, you know, structure and chord progression and all that, and coming up with music, but that's got nothing to do with writing lyrics. So if you want to be a good lyricist and a writer, then you have to put a lot of time into it. They say, what does they say? They say 6,000 hours or something makes you, or whatever. I don't know what that means, but yeah, you want to put a lot of time into it, you know. So it's the same thing if you want to be a good visual artist, you know. If you want to be a good animator, I got friends that I went to Cal Arts with, you know, back in 1987 out in California, and they were in the animation school, and I looked at their art the first year, and when they first got there, and I was just scratching my head like, how the hell did they even get into this place? But then by the time they graduated, hell, a lot of them are millionaires now. They're working for Disney, Pixar. They're kicking ass. So because they put a lot of hours and time into learning those skill sets. And the final thing I like to say, I guess, about arts and being creative and being original and being good is that whatever weakness you might have, because you know what they are, we all have them, that's what you work on. You work on those weaknesses. And like I say that, you know, when you make your weaknesses your strengths, then your strengths turn into magic, because you're also working on your strengths too, the whole time. So if you focus on your weaknesses, you're really giving yourself just a fully rounded, you know. I was always bothered, you know, when I was at Cal Arts, because nobody in the fine arts department knew how to draw. You know, they didn't have any skills. They were just, I know it was all about conceptual art and postmodernism. And again, you know, I hate to go back to politics for one last instance, but look what postmodernism has brought us to. And back then I thought it was full of nonsense, and now we have an idiot textbook psychopath in the White House, which I've been talking about for years, you know, because most psychopaths don't go around killing people. It's only 1% of the population, but that's a pretty large percent. You know, think about it. If 1% of the population that are textbook psychopaths, considered psychopaths, and by the way, if you're a human being, you fall inside the psychopath spectrum. Just so you understand the you know, the specific, what psychopath actually means. Not just episodes of Dexter or American Psycho with Christian Bale or whatever. No, most psychopaths are just lawyers and car salesmen. And there's a lot of, and then sociopaths, which would be the next level down. That they make up on average 4% of the American population, or 4% of the population in general. It's really just it's just a natural thing, and so those. So if you think about it, between psychopaths and sociopaths are more moody. They're not so much like team builders. They don't have that same type of organizational skills. They're a little bit more moody in that way. So you think of like strippers are more sociopaths, because they're just what bothers me about sociopaths is that they kind of loosely know the difference between right and wrong, so they do know the difference, but they normally just a lot of times just choose the wrong direction anyways, which is very frustrating if you happen to know a sociopath. But we have a textbook psychopath in the White House, and I was talking about this for years, and I had no idea that actually he'd be responsible literally for over 100,000 Americans just dying. And actually to this day he's planning on holding a party at the White House, which is a COVID-19 epicenter at the moment, and he's actually currently shedding COVID-19 disease out of his breath. And for people that don't know what COVID-19 is, if you have it and you're contagious, you're basically breathing death on other people, because even if they are asymptomatic, they can still get their grandmother dead or somebody else dead just because you're out there breathing death. And when you're breathing death, you shouldn't be breathing death in public. But yet this United States President, Donald J. Trump, is holding a party tomorrow with 2,000 people. With 2,000 cult members. But we'll see how many people show up, because I have no idea. Will 5 people show up? Are people like still willing to sacrifice their life? Think about it. I don't know, but maybe 2,000 people show up. I don't know. So I'm going to I'll take a bet right now on myself. I'll probably be wrong, but what the hell, I'll throw it out there. I like throwing stuff out there in the universe. That's kind of how I got to this water approach method behind me. So that's kind of how that works. So I'm going to say 792. 792 people are going to show up for that party at the South Lawn of the White House tomorrow. And today is October 9th, 2020, I believe. So I think this party's tomorrow, October 10th, Saturday. Saturday, October 10th. But, and like I said at the top of this video, I don't really get into politics much when I'm talking about art and music. I have a lot of friends on all sides of the political spectrum that I respect a lot. So, and I think they respect me as well. So it's not about that, but we do have a serious lunatic, and it's got nothing to do with your, views on issues and stuff. I got conservative views. I got liberal views. It depends what you're talking about, And I think most Americans are like that. They have, they're mostly, they may they may put a D or an R next to their name, when they're, when it comes to party affiliation. I happen to be an I at the moment, but maybe I'll, I don't know. But I think most Americans are they hold a multitude of opinions on different views and on different issues. And so I think most people might be conservative on some stuff and liberal on other stuff. I think that's where most of America is, actually. And nobody wants to see just like crazy, insane drama, day in and day out. I mean, that's just, I don't remember having people freaking out during the last administration. What was it? No drama Obama, right? No drama Obama. And obviously there's going to be always a reason for people to complain, but and most of that is has to do with their stance on what they believe the solution might be to one issue or another. And of course there's always going to be the crazy yelling on the fringes. Yeah, that's just totally ridiculous. But it's still there, but it's just all part of the bell curve. But right now there's not a bell curve going on. It's just a weird, crazy, messed up mess. Anyways, once again, my name is Jordan Cohen.